Hi everyone, welcome back to our CKLA Knowledge Domain 4, which is Greek mythology. Today in Lesson 4, we're reading the story called Arachne the Weaver. Today's myth is a story that was told to explain how one animal in nature was first created. Remember, a myth is a type of folk tale that was told to explain events in nature or try to teach people a moral lesson. These fictional stories usually had supernatural beings or heroes as the main characters. Reminder that a folk tale is a literary genre. A folk tale is a short story that has been passed down from generation to generation. There are many different types of folk tales. For example, fairy tales, legends, tall tales, fables, and myths, which we're reading about today. Your learning target is I can evaluate what Arachne the Weaver explains about nature and the lesson it teaches. Okay, guys, listen carefully to find out what is an arachnid and what does this myth explain about nature? Here we go. Long ago, there lived among the Greeks a young woman named Arachne, who was a very gifted weaver. A weaver weaves or spins threads or yarns together to make cloth. Arachne wove upon a wooden frame called a loom. She did not just weave solid colors, she wove tapestries, wonderful woven pictures that people would hang on their walls as art. People came from distant lands to see these masterpieces or great works in Arachne's studio. A visitor might comment, "This is amazing. Why, look at the leaves on this tree. They look so real that you almost expect them to move in the breeze. And this deer in the meadow looks as if he is going to turn and bound or jump away." The visitors would tell Arachne, "You are the finest weaver in all of the world." But then they would add, "Except, of course, for the goddess Athena, who invented weaving." Athena was actually the goddess of all handicrafts, not just weaving. People flattered or complimented Arachne by comparing her work to that of Athena's. At first, Arachne was pleased with this comparison, but as years passed, she began to get annoyed. She would say, "I'm sure Athena is very talented, but look, did you see this one over here?" Hmm. Just think, why do you think Arachne began to get annoyed? Just think. As still more years passed, whenever people compared her to the goddess, Arachne would angrily say, "I don't care if Athena invented weaving. I think I am the best weaver in the world." Just think, do you think this bragging might cause a problem for Arachne? Let's find out. Word of this eventually reached the ears of the goddess Athena on Mount Olympus. She decided to visit Arachne's studio to learn if Arachne was truly saying such things. However, Arachne did not want excuse me. However, Athena did not want Arachne to recognize her. So with her magic, Athena changed her own appearance from a beautiful, athletic young woman. Now, with a wave of her hand and a puff of smoke, gone was the young woman, replaced by a woman so old and bent with age that she had to lean or rest against a walking stick to get around. Of course, inside that body was still the goddess Athena, but no one would have recognized her. In this disguise, she went to visit Arachne, commenting, "Your work is extraordinary, my dear." Think, does this mean Arachne's work is good or bad? You can give a thumbs up for good, a thumbs down for bad. "I am certain that you are the finest weaver in the world, except, of course, for the goddess Athena." Hearing this, Arachne, thinking she spoke to a bent, old woman angrily exclaimed. I am sick of hearing about Athena. I say that I am the best weaver in the world. Well, there was a puff of smoke, and when it blew away, who did Arachne see standing there with her but the beautiful goddess Athena? Arachne was afraid of what the goddess might do to her, but she took a deep breath and said, I meant what I said. I am prepared to prove that I am the best. I have 2 wooden looms for weaving. You use one, and I shall use the other. Let us see once and for all who is best. So the goddess and the young woman chose their colors and started to weave. When at last they stopped, Arachne grinned, for she truly believed she had won. She pointed out all the wonderful features or parts of her work to the goddess. Look, she said, see how real the stream looks tumbling down this hillside, and how the water reflects the colors of the sunlight, as real water would do. And if you move over here to look, the colors actually change the way real sunlight would change. At last, she turned to see Athena's tapestry. Arachne saw at once that the work of the goddess was even finer than her own. Athena had woven a stream, but hers seemed to ripple and move. She had woven clouds that appeared to float lightly in the sky. And above it all, she had woven the gods in all of their majesty. Do you recognize any of the Greek gods in Athena's tapestry? Just think, see if you do. Upset and embarrassed, Arachne turned and ran from the room. Athena caught up with her, asking, Where are you going? Arachne exclaimed, I thought I was the best, but you are superior, which means are far better. And no matter how long and hard I work at it, I will never be as good as you are. I shall never weave again. Were your predictions about what would happen correct? Just think. Then Athena grew stern, which means harsh and firm. Athena said, Everyone is born with some special gift or talent. If only he or she can figure out what it is and how to use it. You must not waste this skill of yours. We shall see to it that you shall weave again. She reached out and touched Arachne's shoulder with the tip of one finger. Instantly, Arachne began to change shape. She grew smaller and smaller, and her body rounder and rounder. Her legs and arms grew longer and thinner until, after about 5 minutes, Arachne had turned into the very first spider in the world. Today, we call all members of the spider family arachnids. And that is why some people say all spiders are the children of Arachne, the weaver. Something to think about. Think about what do spiders weave, and think about why did Athena turn Arachne into a spider rather than another kind of animal. That is the end of our story about Arachne the weaver.